The moon casts a shadow on Earth in a midday display of nature's power.
Voters cast ballots in an all-day display of democracy's power.
This is Eyewitness News at 6 on the News Channel, WBRE TV.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dawn Timoney.
And I'm Keith Martin. Pennsylvania's voters are going to the polls.
Turnout is described as steady but light across the state as we nominate candidates for the general election.
Well, the top job at stake is governor, as evident in the hard-fought multi-candidate primaries to try to succeed Governor Bob Casey.
On the Republican slate is Tom Ridge, who is the endorsed candidate.
And Chris Capra will be live in Erie at Ridge headquarters. And Ridge voted earlier today in Erie. And Tom Ridge had flown all over the state, is now back. I'm looking for the tape. There he is, Tom Ridge, voting at his campaign hometown of Erie with his 2 children, his wife at his side, and then took off again and is not expected to be back at his headquarters in Erie again until 9:30 tonight as he waits for the votes to be counted. Tom Ridge, a 5-term congressman from Erie, a heavily Democratic district, but he has been a Republican and won there, and he thinks that will now translate to victory in a statewide election to become the Republican nominee for governor.
Joining Priate and Ridge on the Republican ballot are Philadelphia businessman Sam Katz, Allegheny State Senator Michael Fisher, and Center County Surgeon Dr. John Perry.
All right, Donna Crilly. Donna Crilly, this is now we're going to switch to Democrats. The Democratic field is also crowded with 7 names confronting voters at the polls. And Lieutenant Governor Mark Singal says he has the experience and has earned the chance at the top spot.
Donna Crilly is live at Singal headquarters in Harrisburg. She's standing by with more. Donna?
Dawn, we're in the ballroom of the Holiday Inn where supporters have been transforming this room into what they hope will be the location for a Singal celebration. Singal started his day by voting in his hometown of Johnstown. His theme throughout this campaign has been ready right now. He has stressed the fact that he in fact has already done this job, standing in for Governor Casey after the governor's double transplant. It's been a nasty campaign, and Singal, as the front runner, has taken a lot of hits, in particular for flip-flopping on the abortion issue. The closest competitor is Lynn Yackel, the former head of Women's Way. You may remember that Singal was leading her back in 1992 in the U.S. Senate race in the primary. She surged ahead in the final weeks and actually won that primary by 12 percentage points. No one in the Singal camp is taking anything for granted, but it has been ugly. In fact, Singal recently called Lynn Yackel the Tanya Harding of this governor's election. Singal camp sees the scenario this way because there are a good number of undecided voters. A lot of them this day will switch to the Singal side when they walk into the polls, and the other 5 gubernatorial candidates on the Democratic side will be left to fight over the scraps. But all is not politics today for Mark Singal. He is not here in the Harrisburg area. He's at home in the Lebanon School District area where his 3 kids are performing in a concert tonight. As one of his campaign managers said to me, there are some things that are more important to politics. Keith and Dawn?
Thank you very much, Donna Crilly. We'll be checking back with you throughout the evening at the Singal headquarters. Well, Democratic voters are finding a total of 7 candidates on their gubernatorial ballots, including Mark Singal, Lynn Yackel from Philadelphia, and State Treasurer Catherine Baker Knoll. Now, Pittsburgh insurance executive, all right, Republican slate now we're going to go back to. Let's go to the Republican gubernatorial slate, where we see Ernie Priate, Tom Ridge, Sam Katz from Philadelphia, Michael Fisher, the state senator from Allegheny County, and Dr. John Perry, a surgeon from Mill Hall in the central portion of the state who has campaigned aggressively in the rural heartland of Pennsylvania.
Governor Bob Casey cast his final primary ballot today as governor of Pennsylvania. Casey arrived at the Robert Morris Elementary School in Scranton with his wife, Ellen. Casey, who has lived much of his life running for public office, says he was disappointed in the low voter turnout early in the day.
That's one of the big problems in American government today. People unfortunately don't vote, and why they don't, it's beyond me. They really, give up a lot when they just surrender that franchise. It's too bad.
As to who won the governor's vote, Casey says he is keeping his secret ballot a secret.
Well, now that we know who is running, the question is, who is doing the voting at this point?
And the question besides that is
How many?
How many people are
How many
voting?
people are voting? Kathy Bazinski right now live in South Wilkes-Barre at a polling place. Kathy, how's the turnout?
Well, the words are light and steady, as you can see in the background here at District 15-3 in South Wilkes-Barre, and that's pretty much the going all across the state. Polls, precincts all across the state are reporting light and steady turnout today. As we take a look at some video of voting going on here a bit earlier in the day, let me tell you that the election officials here are saying that there has been a good steady stream here, primarily Democratic stream, as it would be in Wilkes-Barre. And if we want to use this district as a bellwether, there are 649 registered voters in District 15-3, and as of about right now, there are 300 people who have actually come out to vote. So we're creeping toward the 50% mark, and that's pretty good for a primary election. Though that's not surprising, probably, because of all the interest, the statewide races for governor particularly, as we just mentioned. And another race that has been very hot, particularly in Luzerne County, is for state senator in the 14th senatorial district. As you know, that involving State Senator Ray Musto, Attorney Neil O'Donnell, and former Luzerne County Commissioner Frank Triniszewski. If you've turned on a radio or turned on the TV or opened a newspaper in the past few weeks, you know this has been a campaign of charges, countercharges, plenty of mudslinging, and it'll be interesting to see who the winner is once the dust clears. And of course, reporters Andy Mahalchik, Carol McKenzie, and I will have complete coverage. We'll be shadowing all those three candidates tonight as Eyewitness News team coverage continues. Keith, Dawn?
Kathy, that must have been an allusion to the eclipse when you said you'll be shadowing the candidates.
Definitely. We try to work all the angles on every top story of the day, Keith.
That's that literary work. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Kathy
Kathy.
Bazinski.
Well, many candidates ran unopposed in today's primary, making for short ballots.
And some areas, though, such as the 14th State Senatorial District and the 111th State House District, feature hotly contested races where there is intense voter interest. You can see the full story right here on the news channel soon after the polls close at 8 o'clock. Well, when we come right back, the mystery continues in Cole Township. We'll tell you why.
And the sun plays peekaboo today. Andy Mahalchik has the details on the afternoon show. Two-term Attorney General Ernie Priate, and Scranton native, is wrapping up his day in his hometown.
And Brian Francis is live at the Priate headquarters at the Scranton Cultural Center. Brian?
That's right, Keith. For decades, though, this place was called the Masonic Temple. Now it's called the Scranton Cultural Center, but Ernie Priate probably calls this place Victory Lane. That's because time and time again during his political career, he's come here to this building to claim victory. Back when he ran for Lackawanna County DA, and of course again when he ran and won the state attorney generalship. He will try to claim victory again tonight, but whether or not he'll do it, we'll just have to wait and see. Priate began his quest for the governorship many years ago, actually 2 years ago, and today he cast his vote, probably for himself. When he voted here in Lackawanna County, he took his twin daughters, Elizabeth and Alexandra, with him to the polls. And for weeks, Priate had trailed in the opinion polls. That despite allegations that he gave video poker operators some special considerations. Priate now has seemed to have actually gained ground in the last couple of weeks. Going into today, most polls showed Priate in a virtual dead heat with Tom Ridge and Sam Katz close behind. Now, of course, whoever wins this hotly contested primary race, that's just the first of two major battles. Of course, whoever wins this will have to go up against the Democrats in the fall, and that promises to be an even more spirited election. So the question here tonight is, can Ernie Priate extend his string of victory parties here at the Masonic Temple / Scranton Cultural Center? We'll be here all night long to find out. Keith, Dawn.
Thanks very much, Brian. We'll check back with you as soon as the polls are closed.
Well, Tom Ridge is the endorsed candidate on the GOP side.
And he is from Erie, Pennsylvania, and Chris Capra right now is live via satellite at the Ridge headquarters.
Good evening, Keith. We're in the heart of what you call Ridge running country here in Erie, Pennsylvania. Later tonight, Tom Ridge will take that podium and either claim victory or concede defeat. Now, Ridge started the day voting here in Erie and then campaigning before jumping on a plane to crisscross the state. He made stops in Williamsport, Bethlehem, and Philadelphia. We understand right now he's in the Harrisburg area campaigning for those last-minute votes that could make a difference because this is such a very tight race. Now, we understand that Tom Ridge will be back here about 7:30 to await returns. We'll be here with him awaiting those returns, and we'll have a full report tonight at 11. For now, reporting live in Erie with the Ridge campaign, I'm Chris Capra, Eyewitness News.
Thanks very much, Chris. So you can see we have a side-to-side, one side of the state to the other, battle going on tonight.
Should be an interesting race. In other news, it was a spectacular view if you had a chance to see it. The annular eclipse. The eclipse occurred as the moon slid between the sun and the earth. Andy Mahalchik checks out the solar phenomenon in our area.
The Celestron telescope peers skyward from the Friedman Observatory at Penn State Wilkes-Barre campus in Lehman, waiting for the big moment. But when the big moment arrived at about 1:30 this afternoon, so did the clouds and rain. But the eclipse was not to be outdone. It was to be seen. Within about 15 minutes, the clouds broke away, and there it was.
The moon, now not the shadow, but the moon itself, passes between the earth and the sun. And again, at this part of the country, we're only seeing a partial eclipse.
More specifically, an annular eclipse. So what's the difference between that and a total eclipse?
With an annular eclipse, the moon is just a little bit too far away so that it doesn't match the same size as the circle of the sun in the sky. So it doesn't quite cover all of the sun, so it leaves this ring of light around.
But this is how much of the nation saw the eclipse at its peak. But around here, people were not to give up. They were still looking upwards, hoping to see what they could see.
The thing that I really like about astronomy is just the amazement of nature, how, like in this case with the eclipse, we can't control nature and that these amazing things can occur.
If you missed today's annular eclipse, don't worry about it. There will be another one visible in our area in about 18 years, in the year 2012. Andy Mahalchik, Eyewitness News, Luzerne County.
Northumberland County authorities are going to have to conduct a DNA test on a person burned beyond recognition in order to try to identify the victim. The body was found burned to death in a car in Cole Township last Saturday. Northumberland County Coroner Richard Ulrich says the DNA test will take several weeks, but several dental records failed to confirm the identity of the victim. That's rare, according to the coroner. There is still no cause of death, but it is considered to be suspicious. A Schuylkill County teenager will be tried as an adult for the murder of his mother and a friend. That opens the door to a possible death penalty sentence. Vanden Tricamo, who just turned 18 last Thursday, is charged with the shotgun slayings of his mother and 15-year-old Danny Rothermel. Police say Tricamo committed the murders after finding his mother, her lesbian lover, and the teenage boy in bed having sex. The other woman survived the shooting. Yesterday, a county judge ruled despite years of psychological abuse, Tricamo would be tried as an adult.
Police are on the lookout for two teenagers who robbed a Columbia County gas station at knife point. The pair hit the Amoco station in Buckhorn just after 8 o'clock last night. The suspects, who are between the ages of 14 and 16, entered the station as another person was leaving. One was carrying a dagger or an envelope opener. The other watched the door. The teens made off with an undetermined amount of cash. A search of the area came up empty. Well, it was a nice day with a few showers.
But the seeing was spectacular for the eclipse, Vince.
Absolutely, and for a few select few, we had some brief quickly passing thunder showers in the last hour or so, but they're moving out of here, and as they move out, the sunshine's coming back in most locations. Still time to vote. Still time to tell you about AccuWeather. I'll do just that. Stay with us.
You're watching Eyewitness News at 6 on the News Channel, WBRE TV.
It was kind of a funny day. The sun was out, it rained, it got kind of eerie when we had the annular eclipse.
It did. About 1 o'clock, I was home and I was watching TV, and I said, it is getting dark outside my window. This is magnificent.
I was driving and it was eerie. I took my sunglasses off, and it was a strange sight, that eclipse today.
My problem was when I looked out the window, it was a lot of dark clouds. It was not the annular.
Oh,
it was a combination of two, because then the clouds cleared up, and when the skies cleared, it was still as dark. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty neat thing to see.
We saw history.
And it's always strange, and that's truth.
Truth is strange.
Hey, I'll give away an umbrella here in a couple of minutes, but first, let's show you something that today was the result of the weather. Charlie Hayes happens to be out, and this is for real, absolutely for real. Charlie picks up this rainbow over Wilkes-Barre. This was about an hour ago, and isn't that spectacular? I mean, the annular eclipse is one thing, but that's kind of neat itself. Mostly sunny and 57 degrees this hour in Wilkes-Barre. Beautiful rainbow from Charlie Hayes. Hey, write that down, by the way, and send it to us on a postcard. Not Charlie Hayes. Don't write that down. If you can, if you want to, but write down where the weather window is. Currently, here's how it shapes up. Temperature is 56. Winds are out of the northwest at 14. Relative humidity at 58%. Barometer 30.03 and steady. Our high today managed to get up to 62. The low overnight last night was 45. Normally a 67 and a 46. Record high from 1934 was 89 degrees. Still is, actually. And 29 degrees on this day in 1966. For the record low, 5:49 and 8:10. Sunrise, sunset tomorrow. A weather window from Wilkes-Barre, a rainbow from Charlie Hayes within the last hour or so. Spectacular. Now until 9 o'clock tonight, a thunder shower early in select locations. Temperatures over the next couple hours will drop down into the mid-50s, and skies are clearing just about everywhere. So let's continue on here now. Thunder showers still in the eastern reaches of our viewing area, and then the sunshine is back for the next several hours until sundown a little after 8 o'clock tonight. So in a lot of locations, especially to the west, back in the central counties, storms are over. Sun's back out, and it's not bad. Hawley with a 66 right now, Danville 65. Renova 62, thunderstorms there this afternoon. Likewise 54 in Montrose, where they also saw some thunderstorms this afternoon. But skies are in the process of clearing, and they will eventually, as another front moves through, go completely clear. So skies will be clearing for us, if not within the next 20 minutes, then certainly within the next hour or two. And overnight tonight, it's going to get kind of chilly as temperatures drop off. So here's a story for us in Pennsylvania. Get a look at the big picture coast to coast here. Major storms in Texas this afternoon. Thunder showers, I guess we call them for us. They weren't really very severe. They were brief. They were passing. They were quick. Some good wind with them, though. Quick shot of rain and some lightning I saw myself. This is what it looks like at 6 o'clock here. With the major storms, such as they were, not that all of them were major, now moving off through Wayne County and eastern Luzerne County and out through the Poconos. Still some showers left behind, but as the sun goes down, we full well expect some of those showers to fall apart. So let's get you the forecast. Here it is, exclusively from AccuWeather for tonight. A thunder shower. And skies go clear. Temperatures overnight about 40 degrees. Now, some spots I think are going to get down into the 30s. There is a possibility for scattered frost again tonight. Here we are heading into the second week of May. My, oh my. Tomorrow, basically a nice day, sunshine, clouds, and a high tomorrow at about 70 degrees. It'll be kind of cool in the morning, but the day will warm up very quickly and you'll enjoy it. Then tomorrow night, clouds will be increasing again. It'll turn cloudy. Showers are possible. And the overnight low at 54, so a warm night for us. Here's the rest of the forecast. I'll tell you right, as of now, it looks like the weekend is holding out pretty good, but let's wait and see. Thursday, we could see some showers, maybe a little thunder, 67. Friday, 65. Saturday, 72. And on Sunday, lots of sunshine, but a chance of a thunderstorm. We have another winner for you, another umbrella winner, and that is Roxanne Miscavige. And Roxanne lives in Wapalapa. Get your postcard in and get lucky, get yourself an umbrella. Stan Cooper Senior Chapter, Trout Unlimited, monthly meeting tonight. It seems like we have them every 3 or 4 days, doesn't it? No, they only happen once a month. And tonight's is at 7:30 at the Kingston VFW. You're invited to be there.
I'm glad we know
like
that.
We always have them
that's
monthly.
Good things ring true.
Indeed. I'll see you guys later. Good luck.
Thanks, Vince.
In sports, the Red Barons back in action in Richmond.
And the Phillies try again in Atlanta. Jim has it all when we come right back.
Well, both the Phillies and the Red Barons are looking for the same thing tonight.
Red Barons in Richmond.
Well, the Phillies from worst to first to worst possibly this year, and the Red Barons didn't lose last night because they had the evening off last night. Good evening, everyone. On this election night, we begin with the continuing struggle of the National League champion Philadelphia Phillies as they work their way through a very difficult road trip that now finds them in Atlanta, Georgia, in a series with the Atlanta Braves. Last night, the Braves scored early and often and posted a 7-2 victory. It started in the last half of the first inning last night as Fred McGriff would take right-hander Jeff Juden inside the first base bag and down the right field line to the corner. The ball bounces away from West Chamberlain, 2-run score, and the Braves led the Phillies 2-0. Later in the inning, Mark Lemke goes to nearly the very same spot with the same results, a 2-run double down the right field line. The Braves now led the Phillies. It was a 4-0 baseball game. Terry Pendleton would then play some long ball as he takes this Juden breaking ball over the wall in right center field. Atlanta led the Phillies. It was now 5-0. Phillies finally get on the board when West Chamberlain takes Avery down the line and left field and out. Solo home run. That cut the lead to 5-1. The Braves answered that. Justice takes Juden Juden deep and out, and the Braves led the Phillies 6-1. Javier Lopez was then hit by Juden. The umpire said take a hike, and for the second time in 8 days, Jeff Juden was tossed out of the game. The final, the Braves over the Phillies 7-2. AAA baseball later tonight. The Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons begin a 3-game series with the Richmond Braves at the Diamond in Richmond, Virginia, after both teams enjoyed a night off last night. The Red Barons continued to make moves with the Philadelphia Phillies as the Major League franchise tries to stabilize its lineup and find a working combination. The Phillies called up right-hander Mike Williams from the Red Barons. He was roughed up this time around in AAA, and they sent right-hander Ben Rivera back to Clearwater, Florida for extended spring training as the constant maneuvering goes on between the parent club and the AAA franchise.
Well, I think, if you look at the entire system as a whole, I think it would best be described as an apprenticeship to getting to the big leagues, and with the A-ball step being first, and obviously AA and then AAA, and I think we all work together in the development process of getting guys to the big leagues. Again, with us being the last step, there are things that go on here that may not go on at the other levels. Rehab guys coming in, or guys that are called up today, back tomorrow, and there's so much movement between you and the major league club. And this might not occur at the AA level, so we've got more of that to deal with.
We will examine the entire structure of the AA, AAA, and Major League Baseball operations on this week's edition of the Red Barons Dugout Show, Sunday at 11:30 right here on WBRE TV. Cincinnati Reds pitcher Tom Browning was released from a San Diego, California hospital today after spending the night after last night fracturing his left arm. Browning's arm cracked 3 inches below the shoulder while he was delivering this pitch in last night's game against the San Diego Padres. The pop of Browning's arm could be heard high up in the press box. He laid on the ground for nearly 5 minutes. Browning is expected to return, but will be out of action for quite some time. NBA and National Hockey League playoff action tonight. NBA Eastern Conference Playoff Series, Indiana at Atlanta. The Western Conference Series begins later tonight with the Denver Nuggets facing the Jazz in Game 1 in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Knicks and the Bulls resume the series tomorrow night. National Hockey League playoffs tonight. Western Conference, Toronto at San Jose. The series tied 2-2. Vancouver at Dallas, with the Canucks leading that series 3-1. And former Redskins quarterback Mark Rippon signed today with the Cleveland Browns. Good luck with you and your elections tonight and the entire TV-28 team.
And have an easy night off.
We'll cruise tonight.
All right.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
And coming up tonight on Eyewitness News Nightcast at 11, we will have complete team coverage of the primary election.
So stay tuned to WBRE TV for up-to-the-minute results and live reports from the headquarters of the winners and losers as voters nominate candidates for governor and U.S. Senate.
That is it for now for the team. Have a great night, and we'll see you at 11 o'clock.
By Kerry Collins in the Iowa game this year. He claimed he lost the job unfairly, left school, now will play at Eastern Kentucky. He has 1 year left, will enroll this winter, compete in spring drills, and play quarterback in 1994 for the skiers. Elk Mountain will open tomorrow morning, and we'll have a profile of that fine establishment tonight at 11 o'clock. See you later.
Right, thank you much.
Okay.
Well, that is Eyewitness News. We thank you for watching. NBC Nightly News is next.
For the team, have a great evening. We'll see you at 11.